Tell me, what is it that you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? The poet Mary Oliver gives us a great insight into our topic today, which is to find a vocation. Some people find a vocation in something that makes them money, others in things that do not. For instance, your greatest joy might be in writing poetry or painting or dancing, and there is a need for beauty in the world. You might find that coaching your child's sports team gives you more joy than your job. But given the economic realities of capitalist economy, however, you will spend some of your time doing something that will earn you enough money to live. But it is important to keep things in perspective. Ideally, you should be doing something which is worthwhile and contributes positively to the common good. But when you're looking at vocation, the important thing to start with is, does this bring you joy? The American writer and theologian Frederick Beaker once described vocation as finding where your greatest joy meets the world's greatest needs. Notice we didn't say greatest pleasure or greatest excitement. Pleasure and excitement are things that James Martin calls shallow wants. One way to know this is because excitement and pleasure are fleeting. Pleasurable feelings usually don't last very long. Experiences can go from exciting to dull very quickly. So your vocation is not your greatest pleasure or your greatest excitement. It is your greatest joy. Joy is something that sustains us through tough times. It's what makes us want to do the hard work even when the hard work is unrewarding. James Martin will refer to this as your deep desire, those areas that resonate with your whole being. One way to know if a feeling is rooted in joy is that you don't mind doing the work. The work may be challenging, even frustrating, but you will want to do it. I once got great advice when I was considering a PhD in history. I told a friend that I liked history, but I didn't want to research and write all my life. My friend said, then you don't want a PhD, because if you did, the research and the writing would be the most exciting thing about getting a PhD. Vocations are rooted in those places where we want to do the work, even when others see it as hard or not important. The next question to ask, so not only should a vocation be something that brings you joy and fulfillment, but it must also be something for which there is a real need. For example, I love to play the game of golf, but there is nobody out there who wanting to watch me play golf. However, I do find that some of my best prayer times are when I chip and putt with Jesus. So there's no need for my golf. The world is full of needs, and every person is called to meet some of them. When I was getting my teaching degree, I had a classmate who had a great job at ESPN and was now going to become a teacher. Many people in the class, including me, asked him why he had given up a cool job to go into teaching. He said he didn't see any value in spending his life making Disney more money. He said that the pay was great, but that he got tired of feeling that his life was shallow and meaningless. He wanted to teach because it was a way of helping people each and every day. So, bringing you joy is not the only criterion for naming a vocation. There must also be a need. And finally, Jesuit spirituality understands that working is serving God. When Ignatius had his vision in a little chapel on his way to Rome, he saw the resurrected Jesus carrying the cross and still working to save the world. He understood that he was supposed to join Jesus in this work. This idea is fundamental to Ignatian spirituality. Human beings work alongside Jesus for the salvation of the world. This means that we need to look for what we are contributing to. Is the need we are serving, are we doing good, or are we causing people harm? So I hope those are just 4 very brief topics to look at as you're considering a vocation. In this project, you'll be reading an article from James Martin, and then doing some work in Naviance to kind of highlight where you might have some strengths and inherent talents, and then to think how you can use them to serve the greater good. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you enjoy this journey where you will try to figure out what you will do with that one wild and precious life that God has given you.